Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another TC Talks podcast. That's the part there where the intro music would play in and like a intro video would go like that. That's how I see it in my head anyway. But obviously, there we go. See, there it is. Booyaka. Welcome this week. If you've spotted the title, we're talking about ray tracing. We're not talking about the guy, the man himself, Ray Archibald tracing. We're talking about the technology of ray tracing. And we'll get onto that a bit later in the podcast. But needless to say, none of us really know what the definition of ray tracing is, but we will do our best to discuss it and to find out whether or not it's actually a good thing in gaming. But first of all, let me introduce who we have with us this evening. Obviously, to my right on the screen is my duplicity double, Stupot. Are you well?
Hello. I'm not too bad today, actually. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm okay today so far.
Good.
So far, it could have got Pete Tong.
This is true. So still a few hours left, I guess.
Exactly. But, you know, we'll get there. Down below me, we have the one and only Jay. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. It's been a long week. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
Work is kicking my butt.
Oh, dear. And that doesn't sound good at all.
It's fine.
It's fine. You'll be all right. You can make it to the weekend.
It's fine.
You know, we're almost on the downhill slope. And, well, yeah, exactly. And down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, if you're watching, we have one of the new members of the team sporting a very, very lovely picture there of ray tracing in action. He's Aaron. Welcome on to the TC Talks podcast. How are you?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, he's very keen, isn't he? I like Aaron.
He is.
He's very keen. He's one of the more keen members of the new staff.
The only new keen member of the new staff at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll see what it's like in a couple of months.
Exactly. I mean, you've already had to make a tough decision in your game reviewing life.
I did, yeah.
You had to choose between Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War.
It's not a difficult choice, is it?
It was.
I mean,
one's a big
Vikings or zombies.
One's a big cool Viking game, and the other's the same thing that came out last year.
It's not. It's such a
based in the 60s, isn't it? I don't know when it's called.
It's a shooter based on the war where there was no shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. And the music tunes that you're hearing in the background this evening are from Harris Heller's discography over on Spotify. As far as I'm aware, it's royalty free. So if you're trying to watch this back and the video on demand is muted, I'm sorry. But
that also means there'll be no podcast on our podcast listening places this week.
Really? Can you not put? They have to be royalty free.
Well, the sound will be muted, won't it?
Yeah, the sound will be muted.
Just be. You'll get this bit. You'll get this bit because there's no music playing. So we need to what we need to do then is talk rubbish through the songs and have all the really good poignant facts and points in the break between them.
Okay. All right.
Worth a try.
I think we can do that.
Maybe.
So talk amongst yourselves for a minute and a half. We'll be back after this short break. But anyway, let's move on to our first section, which obviously, as always, is
welcome.
The welcome section. The pause there was because we played our little animation, Aaron, just to make sure you didn't think I had a bit of a seizure or something like that. We have fancy animations for the things, and that was one of them. So welcome. I think this week we need to know your one good thing and one bad thing, but also what T-shirt you're wearing. Obviously, Aaron's going to be a bit difficult to do that, although I'm hoping he's wearing a particular red T-shirt. But well, I mean, you could just say you are because we can't see you.
That's a good point.
You see. So, Jay, we can see you're sporting your lovely olive green Xbox hoodie.
It's actually a onesie.
Onesie.
I'm in a full-blown Xbox onesie that has little pockets. Like it's got a phone pocket, it's got a controller pocket, and a TV remote pocket, and then it's got normal pockets as well.
Wow! And do you put your controller in the controller pocket?
I usually just put my phone in there, but the hood is designed to fit over headphones. It's a proper gamer onesie.
I like it.
It's
I don't have an
made.
Xbox, but I may have to look into.
They're nice.
The real question is, are you wearing anything underneath?
I've got boxers on and I've got a t-shirt.
Oh, phew. Oh, there we go.
1986 Transformers Autobot logo.
There we go.
Isn't that a weird coincidence? Mine's only
bigger than yours.
This was a t-shirt my brother bought me about 15, 16 years ago when he went off to America and came back, and that was his little souvenir for me from a comic book shop in New York.
Excellent. I think mine's from Asda.
Always a story to tell.
There is, always on these podcasts. Stu, you're sporting a red one. I'm going to guess that it's probably not even got any kind of emblem or logo on it. It's probably an Under Armour.
Actually, it's Mountain Warehouse.
Mountain Warehouse.
I didn't sell you that.
Could you?
I said I didn't sell you that. It's not for my warehouse.
Oh, right, yes, that's true. Yeah. Mountain Design. Mountain Design? That's right. Yeah, it's a Mountain Warehouse. Kind of slim to the Under Armour thing because it's pretty warm in this room. So I need something that.
Let's be honest, if you're in the Arctic, you'd be saying that it was kind of warm in that room.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually have the fan on right now as well.
Yeah.
The
fact that you've got sleeves is always a nice thing. I mean, until the summer comes around, and then the sleeveless,
they're gone.
The sleeveless tops. Yeah. So, Aaron, come on, tell us what you're wearing. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing a beautiful wine-coloured number from Culture.
A wine-coloured number. He's blatantly not. He's blatantly in like, I don't know, like a football shirt or something.
I'm not, honestly. I'm in my beautifully comfortable From Culture t-shirt.
So, there we go. He's posted the link to the hoodie.
I've just realised I bought it online, so I could dig out the link.
There we go.
You're not affiliated with Microsoft.
We aren't, but we love Game Pass.
Yeah.
Actually, I played a little bit of game off Game Pass over the weekend. Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
I bet you cannot guess what it was.
Crusader Kings?
Exactly that, yeah.
Adding to your 4,000 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, I'm actually about 300. I think it was 308. I think I saw it actually. Yeah. It's not too bad. Not too bad.
Good. So going around the table again, let's have our one good and one bad this week. Let's start off with Aaron. Come on, this is a nice little introduction to the TC Talks podcast. And you're not allowed to say PlayStation or Xbox.
Oh. But I was so excited.
But you just have to be
there is a hack.
Okay, so
yeah, there is a hack to it. So you just have to be.
The best thing that's happened this week then is a beautiful box that turned up on Monday evening after me waiting in all day. The bad thing was I waited in all day Monday.
Excellent.
After being given the time.
Excellent. Oh. Sorry, I just had to compose myself then. I almost choked on my coffee. Which would have been quite interesting for people watching the podcast, because I would have showered my monitor and quite possibly my shiny box in coffee. Stubot, let's go.
Done a little gardening yesterday, so I took down another tree. That was pretty good. But hang on, I didn't cut myself.
Hey, there we go.
That is a win if I've ever heard one.
That is a super win.
Because I am at the moment, almost every other time I'm in the garden, I've got an infection. So I'm pretty good. It's a pretty good win.
Good. Bad thing, obviously, is shiny boxes got delivered last week. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not interested. What I say. And I have no money. And Christmas is coming. I got to buy other people gifts, not me.
Doing it all wrong.
I know, yeah, I really do it all wrong.
I just buy a box of chocolates for each household, mate. That's all they get.
I like that idea. The man himself.
The good news is my refund is now pending from Ubisoft.
Oh, it's only pending now.
Wait,
3 weeks and 3 days later.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that's actually going to clear in the next couple of days.
They're making some.
They're making interest on me.
Say
not
some
buying
nice
stuff.
interest off that.
So I need to sort that out. Finish sorting that out. But at least it's on its way back, and I've got money again because it's 180 quid.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
The gets.
That's like 2 PS5 games, isn't it?
It's like 1 PS5.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And then I think I've already alluded to the bad thing. Work.
Yeah, work. Boom.
I've got a new job next week, but this week it's kicking my butt. We deployed a big project over the weekend, so it's just been busy couple of days. I think yesterday I worked for about 12 hours.
Wow.
And then only 10 today, I think. So that's
not too bad then. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then first thing tomorrow morning. So.
Yeah. So new job. Is that within the same company?
Yeah, promotion starts next week.
Excellent. So are you now Dan's boss?
No. No, I'm in a slightly different area to Dan.
Why can't you get a job that makes you his boss?
We'll get there.
Yeah, good. Watch it, Dan. He's coming for you. Yeah, he's coming for you. Almost turned into what's his name, Billy Butcher from
Billy Butcher.
The Boys. Then almost I had to hold myself off. Then
you little monkey. That's what he says, isn't it? Yeah, family friendly edition.
Oh, you naughty boy.
You little dog.
Yeah, pretty much. But my one good, one bad. My good one is I got my shiny box delivered last Thursday. And the bad one is the hard drive is practically full in my shiny box.
And the controller wears.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wear mine, so. I mean, I've got it close to me. I think. I mean, it's in my drawer somewhere around everything else, but yeah. I think that's pretty much the good and bad stuff of my week. It hasn't been dreadfully a dreadfully bad week, to be fair. I've got some night shifts coming up and working night shifts. Bad thing actually was the website going Pete Tong at the weekend.
That hurt my head.
Monumentally Pete Tong. Well, no, it didn't go Pete Tong actually. The website was absolutely fine. The hosting was a douche. But we're back up and running, thanks to Stu and what have you. And we've got a plan to go forward.
486 in the basement of some guy's house, probably, but he rolls, he runs. That's fine. You'll do.
Yeah, so we're going to move forward and we're going to try a few things and get it all back up and running properly. I mean, it is up and running properly.
It is looking good. The new website, new look to it.
It does look very, very good.
It's so nice for your eyes.
It's just a shame that ever since that we've done all these changes, we've had no problems on the website up until Stu and R started playing with it.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's that they did it, but all signs point to yes. But no, it's one of those. It's just a bizarre situation, really, wasn't it? There's no
it
real
is
reason.
really bizarre, and I've never ever seen that. I've dealt with a lot of hosting, especially my previous job and stuff. Never seen that limit before in my life.
Oh well.
It's weird, but yeah, it happens. So
We're just pumping out too much content, aren't we?
I think that's it. Too much high quality content on the website.
What else can we do? We can't dumb it down, you know.
Well, I mean, we could, but then we'd be like other websites.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the news.
So I'm going to start off. Steam sales coming soon. Next Wednesday, actually. This Wednesday.
PC. Who cares about PC?
Tomorrow. Steam sales starts tomorrow.
How long is it on for?
Doesn't actually say. It's an autumn sale, so.
Oh, okay, it'll be a good couple of weeks.
December. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be a good few weeks, I expect. It's that time of year where Black Friday week, that seemed to be a thing this year.
I mean,
Black Friday deals. What?
Yeah, Black Friday isn't even what it's meant to be.
No.
On stuff.
Yeah. It's just really weird. So yeah, I guess just part of that's what's going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out if you're a PC gamer.
Have you set yourself a limit on what you are allowed to spend, Stu?
I haven't yet. I need to have a look at my finances and
because I think you're very much a under £30 kind of gamer.
And I do try to stick to that quite good. And I'm pretty good for doing it. And I have to, because I'll just end up spending and it'd be so bad. So if I have a limit, I kind of keep to that. So there we go.
I may have to peruse the Steam sales, I think.
Yeah,
I think I will be.
I don't think they're what they used to be, though, are they?
Oh no, you can't get like big games for like 4p.
Yeah, they used to be like genuinely you would spend about 50 quid, but you'd have 1,000 games.
It's nowhere near as good. I remember the last one, like for example, Red Dead 2.
I remember.
You can still go to like the actual Rockstar site. I get it for £15 cheaper than the Steam sale.
Okay.
Like, why would you buy it on Steam? Well, actually, a lot of people will pay that £15 more just to have it on Steam. I haven't seen them. Blow my mind.
Yeah, weird people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so apparently there is going to be a discussion soon in Parliament. I don't know where they're going to be discussed, but loot boxes in video games in the UK. Apparently, it's going ahead for a discussion.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? After the Netherlands kind of turned around and said no.
I think the UK one was on the back of a petition, one of these change.org.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's on the back of that, because so many people petitioned for it. They've got to just.
I was going to say, I think once you get to a certain point, it's a legal thing that it has to be addressed, even if they just go
100,000 signatures or something like that, isn't it? It's got to be brought up in Parliament.
That's right, yeah, and it looks like they could be discussing that this week, apparently. So that should be interesting. Comes
Black Friday, you see.
Yeah,
yeah.
On the back of that, because obviously FIFA is one of the big things to do with loot boxes and loot crates. Has anybody seen Twitter this evening with Ibrahimovic and Gareth Bale?
Yes.
I was looking at that.
Actually, I see.
Obviously, this isn't Jay's. Let's put it frank. Jay has no care about what we're about to talk about.
No. I think it's crazy that there's players out there that aren't getting any money from it. You know, when they're being their names used in the game. Still, after all these years of FIFA being around.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because obviously EA buy the rights to. So effectively, Jay, what has been said? Zlatan Ibrahimovic has come out and posted saying that obviously EA have used his likeness and his name without asking his permission.
I'm guessing they are able to do that because they have the license with FIFA and his contract allows that to happen or something daft.
There'll be something like that, yeah. So obviously EA don't pay the players individually, but
they'll get the license through the FIFA organization.
Yeah. FIFA will give them a license and have a bunch of money thrown at them, and then they'll obviously it'll get disseminated into whatever it gets disseminated into. But Gareth Bale has now jumped onto this bandwagon as well.
Bale one, so that's interesting as well.
Yeah. So yeah,
like with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, where he plays in AC Milan, they've signed a partnership with FIFA, with EA, and the same as Inter Milan have. So I suppose his image rights would fall under that kind of partnership. Whereas Gareth Bale, I'm not sure on.
He worked Spurs, isn't it?
Yeah.
His ones.
Yeah, exactly. But they're in the game. They're all in the game. It's just whether the organisation has got them registered.
I think they should go back to how it used to be on Pro Evo and have like the names slightly changed.
Yeah, it'll be called Gary instead of Gary.
Gary Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what. I can't think of that. Platinum Rider has arrived in the chat. He's put a very good valid point. Who still cares about ray tracing? Let's move to the future and focus on tray racing. Tray racing. I like the idea of that.
I would hazard a guess tray racing is already in production as a goofy Fall Guys like snowboarding type game.
I just think of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where they have that tin, they butter it up and go down that slope. That is tray racing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stu talking about the Welsh national sport there.
No, that's cheese rolling now. This.
Why would you roll cheese away from yourself? Anyway, moving on.
Actually, talk about loot boxes. Guess who's appealing the Dutch ruling on loot boxes?
EA?
Yes.
Is this just a bag on EA podcast that we've turned it into?
Well, I actually like EA in the fact that they're good with colour blindness, but other than that,
we've called it ray tracing, but we're actually just slagging off EA. I mean, I quite like EA. I'm a big fan of FIFA.
Yeah.
Even though it's scripted beyond buggery.
Yeah, that's why I haven't bought it.
It's like wrestling.
Yeah, it's like wrestling. Yeah, wrestling scripted.
Now I could deal with that because it's
also fake.
I mean, that's a really good storytelling,
Yeah,
wrestling's not
that gets away with it.
Yeah, exactly. So EA is trying to appeal the Dutch ruling. I don't think they're going to get very far. We'll see what comes of that. Tidbit from there, but yeah, they finally appealed against it. Apparently, at the moment, the fine is up to €5 million at the moment.
Right. Okay.
That's interesting because they haven't bothered. Remember, it was a weekly fine if they weren't going to do something.
Yeah,
they should
hold up to $5 million at the moment.
they should start an incentive where you punish based on what you've done. So EA should have to spend $5 million on another company's loot boxes until they get so fed up of
Overwatch crates and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you want to smoke? Here's the whole packet, sort of.
Yeah, but not just buy them. You've then got to sit there and open them.
Open them one by one.
Yeah.
Get one of the execs on there.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh, brilliant! It's another skin.
Trial. Yeah. Or cosmetics were.
Yeah, brilliant.
Oh look, I've unlocked another skin for May. Yeah. Oh, again.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a rip-off, this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about skins and rip-off, Fortnite. you think I might have just queued these up for us to go? Fortnite apparently are going to a monthly subscription.
There's no apparently about it.
No, it is actually. It is no apparently. It is happening.
I had the email through.
That's a good deal as well.
It's $12. I guess it could be £12.
$9.99 it is.
£10.
It's $9.99.
Yeah, $9.99.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to play it a lot, if you play Fortnite a lot, I think it's a good deal.
Yeah, so if you the season pass, you get some V-Bucks.
1,000.
It's called Battle Pass, isn't it? Sorry, yeah.
Battle Pass, yeah. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's for the V-Bucks and apparently exclusive skins every month by just doing that sub.
See, I think they've done this to combat the app stores.
I probably has a guess, yes. Probably.
Yeah. They will be able to get their £10 a month from the people that want to pay £10 because they'll have to sub via their website. And then they can relaunch all the games without needing the microtransactions on the stores. Problem solved, innit?
Yeah, pretty much. I think that is the way that they're going to do. I think a lot of people are going to take us up because, especially if it's bundled with our battle pass, a lot of people buy that pass.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I buy it. So.
So I'm on the PR website for that crew. It's called the Fortnite crew.
Okay.
So it's basically saying like what's in a crew pack. So every month it will always contain a new outfit and at least one accessory, and these accessories and that are exclusive to those crews. And then they've categorically said they will never be sold or given away to non-crew members.
Just locking in those people who want those skins, they're gonna have to pay that.
Yeah. The subscription can be purchased directly from the item shop or Battle Pass purchase screen, and you can cancel it in game as well.
The first
I guess
one
they have to have
it,
that.
and it's Mando, so
Yes, Mando.
and the child.
Was that the first one?
That will be a big money. Well, that'll be next season. They're not sure. It's not been 100% confirmed if it's going to be part of the battle pass or a secret skin, like Deadpool was at one point.
I got killed by Deadpool the other day.
I love Deadpool in that game.
I wasn't happy about it. Let's catch up with Platinum Rider in the chat. Welcome, anyway, Platinum Rider. Welcome to the TC Talks podcast. As always, he said FIFA should be cancelled because loot boxes, and for your information, I despise barbarian hockey, which FIFA is. Then they'll probably go for Belgium. Obviously, Belgium and Netherlands are relatively close by. Then again, Belgium's not banned EA Sports games like it's done with all the other ones because of that loot boxes thing in Belgium being considered gambling. You missed out on a good Gundam game.
Yeah, I just saw that except for EA, all the other like 2K, Blizzard, stuff like that, loot boxes are banned in Belgium. But the EA one isn't. Which is interesting. Soon it will be. I don't know.
Yes, it probably will be, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I think so. And the final small little slither of one, a bit of news, quite a big one. New Hassive in the world of MMOs. World of
Moving
Warcraft
on to the feature.
It's officially out. It's officially out. The queues are bonkers. Some people are reporting up to 3 hours in queues to get into servers.
Do you have to like stay in the queue, like sat at your desk for that time? Or can you like enter the queue and then leave it?
So literally the game needs to be open. If you close the game, you're out of the queue. Or what happened in the last part, on the last expansion, you get like 100 left and it will error. So you got to go back, enter the queue, and you're a couple of thousand in the queue again.
Because I think they should make it where you have to press like a button that pops up on screen.
Yeah.
But like it's not in the same position, so you can't set up like an auto button presser.
That's kind of
you know.
Well,
no, because if you're in a queue for like something in the shop, not that we condone going out to the shops at the moment, you would have to be there in person. You couldn't just go right. That's my spot, and then cock off down McDonald's for a cheeseburger.
Not entirely true, because some places have the little ticket system, and you pull a ticket, and then they call out your number, like at a deli. Could be World of Delhi.
A ticket system in a queue.
You know, like where you pull out a number.
Yeah, it's like in those little arrow-shaped tickets.
Yeah, like back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like when you go to a deli and it's like, number 12, please.
I thought they introduced into like Tesco, you're in a queue, have a thing and go shop. That'd be hilarious. Quick, you got 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do a dash. Oh, I can't go here. Somebody's waiting between this line. Actually, it just sounds like a fun game.
Apparently, your Xbox hoodie is out of stock as well, Jay.
Oh.
Gutted.
I'm sure there's a PlayStation one. There's got to be, hasn't there?
I don't know. I think there probably is, but it probably won't be half.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Bottle Dan has joined.
Oh, there he is. He's woke up. He's off Facebook.
Yeah, he's joined us.
Yes, the interesting, well, semi-interesting tidbit is this onesie. They released originally as an April Fool's joke, and like the Australian Xbox division made them as an April Fool's joke, but then everyone was like, actually, I want one. So then the following year they went, fine, we've made them.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I know that Numbskull made a what's it called, a PlayStation onesie. But yeah, I don't know whether or not that's.
Pockets,
it's probably not got the same pockets.
It does.
So.
It definitely
pockets
won't.
are the key.
So Dan has joined us, and apparently he's on the loo. Welcome from the loo. Loo. Do you have a nice echo in your loo? But yeah, any other news?
That's all I have.
You missed my favourite bit of news that ties back to a previous episode as well.
Oh, what did I miss?
You can now play Doom
Oh
on
yeah,
a Game & Watch.
Yes, I forgot. What about that one? Sorry. Yeah, that's bonkers.
I mean, in fairness, Stu, you haven't mentioned any of the news pieces that you posted in the Discord. So
Yes.
No, I end up going on different ones.
He's a maverick.
yeah, it's just crazy.
Just going off script.
Yeah, the new collector's edition Game & Watch. You can play Doom on it. Because you can play Doom on everything, including a fridge and a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
It's on everything. Like, fair play to Doom.
Yeah, and then another interesting thing that popped up this week is, if you notice in the new Spider-Man game, the skyline isn't quite right. There's this huge rectangle building where there should be the Chrysler building. Because
licensing, isn't it?
Or something like that, is it?
Yeah, last year the building apparently changed hands, so it has new owners, and they haven't agreed licensing for commercial use. You know, there's trademark and copyright in place, so they just shoved this really generic block skyscraper in there instead in the game in Spider-Man.
It's just silly.
Yeah, I hadn't realised, even though it's obviously quite an iconic design, the Art Deco sort of style. I hadn't realised it was a license, you know, just a building on the horizon. Don't look at it!
Yeah, you're not allowed to look at it.
You haven't paid to look at it.
They should have just left it in, but like put a blur, like a pixelated filter on it.
I thought you were going to say put like a big tarp over it.
Yeah, scaffold it. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't realise buildings had that kind of thing either. But obviously it does. Platinum Rider has asked in the chat before we move on to our feature, how long do you guys think till Skyrim comes to PS5 and the new Xboxes?
It's already on there. It's already
Yeah,
on
well,
there.
Not via backwards compatibility.
But it is the.
Yeah,
It's already there.
but like an updated version.
No, wait, it'll be
technically-
just after Christmas, probably.
Technically,
No,
it is.
Yeah,
It is the
right.
most up to
In a
date
way.
at the moment.
Just
It'd have to go
stop being difficult, Jay. You
It
know
might
what the
never
question
come to
is.
PS5 anyway.
That's true, yeah. This is very true. I don't think it will. I don't think there's any point. It's like, you know,
Yeah, Microsoft will be like, nah.
nah, yeah, we're going to keep that. We'll make it exclusive to the Series S.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Microsoft can do whatever the hell they want to with that franchise now.
Yes, they can.
To a degree.
Play that on the fridge in a pregnancy test soon.
yeah. Anyway, let's move swiftly on and talk about ray tracing.
Who?
It's time for the feature. So this guy I once knew, met down the pub. He once told me that my skin reflected light really, really nicely. And the shadows of the bar lights as well were bouncing off everything as well. And his name was ray tracing. True story. It's not, but true story. Anyway, what's your thoughts on ray tracing? Let's start with Stu, who probably has the least experience
Yes.
with ray tracing.
Don't have a graphics card that has it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Came out basically with a 2000 series of RTX graphics cards from NVIDIA. First game's Battlefield 5. I remember there's a huge thing about that.
It ran at like 5 frames per second when it turned on.
It ran awful. But it looked nice for what it was, but it ran awful. Obviously, since then it's come on. Initially, and it's on that teetering edge now, and this is where consoles this gen that's just come out will help it. I know, purely because it was always kind of a little bit gimmick, but you need to spend a lot of money on a new graphics card, which I still haven't got. I still can't afford one. To have that luxury. But now with these new consoles, they are, especially first-party stuff, they want to utilize all the tech they want to use. So obviously they are gonna put ray tracing in their games. They go into it, and if they don't, that'd be silly. They might as well not put it in there in the first place. So obviously, side effect of that, you'll see more games coming onto PCs. So, and obviously from that, then you would hope third parties would go, this looks like a good thing. Let's add that to our games too, and hopefully it'll become. At the moment, it's still on the teetering edge of a gimmick to an actual feature. If that makes sense, it's on that edge of. It's there. It needs that push over the edge with more games and more exposure to it to get it in the real world, in all games, basically. And that's my opinion on it at the moment. I think it's almost there, but not quite, if that makes sense.
I like it. Yeah, I you know what? I think it's great. And a lot of people, like what you're saying with the new consoles, you've got ray tracing and stuff on both the Series X and the PS5. Does the Series S? It does as well, doesn't it, Jay?
Yes, it does, yeah.
Just at a lower resolution. That's the whole thing with the Xboxes. One's a HD machine and one's a 4K machine. That's the principle. But
the issue that I have, and what you're saying about it coming to different games, Stu, is very true. But it seems to be you've got two options with ray tracing. It's like you say, it's not the standard, so you either have to pick to have ray tracing on, in which case you might run at slightly lower frames per second. For example, Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS5, you've got two modes. You've got ray tracing on and ray tracing off. Ray tracing on only runs at 30 frames per second. Ray tracing off, it runs at 60 frames per second. So it's getting that balance of what you want in a game. I am playing through Miles Morales with it on, because I don't think once you've played, there's a level towards like relatively short time in, and you're fighting a load of bad guys. And I don't know if you've seen the trailers, but they've all got like purple illuminant parts of their outfits and stuff.
I think Emperor and their crew.
I think I've seen they glow up, kind of shining, kind of. I think I've seen that around.
So until you've played this level where you're fighting a load of these guys in a laboratory which has got lots of glass panes and windows, and you can see your reflection in those windows and glass panes, and then you're putting those bad guys through the glass panes, and all of the light is bouncing off everything beautifully. That to me is what ray tracing is all about. It's getting that accurate whoa moment.
It's getting that as close as realism, especially with the lighting and that kind of thing going. And that's where Sony, because that's a first party game, will utilize, and that's where we will see the truest form of ray tracing is going to be on the consoles compared to PC, because they got very specific hardware to do, and you're going to get the nicest looking out of that, without a doubt.
Well, that's it. If you buy a PS5, you've got the capability, or a Series X or Series S, you've got the capability to do ray tracing. It's not like that on PC.
You can even evidence that with Gears 5. Gears 5 came out on PC at the same time as Xbox, and with the new Series S and X, they've patched it to have ray tracing and stuff, and they've added that patch to PC. So the PC had hardware capable of doing it, but they still didn't do it. Because
and that was always the case for me for ray tracing before these consoles. It was up to developer if they fancied putting in. I was looking at a list before the console release. There's 20 games of ray tracing.
Yeah, it's not a lot at all.
I think there's more VR games. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying about VR, but that's another area where it's like you don't see many of, and 20 games of ray tracing is not a lot for me to justify a £400-500 upgrade for my graphics card.
No, absolutely not.
But you've just done exactly what I think is going to happen there, Jay, with Gears 5. Now, because these consoles are going to use them, now you're going to get a lot more games come to PC, and hopefully the third-party games like Ubisoft and stuff like that will also adapt that technology as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have to.
They have to, yeah, because it's going to look. Everybody is then expecting on the new console to look lovely, and then they go, "Oh, hang on, there's no ray tracing."
Yeah, because the next, Battlefield or Watch Dogs or whatever third-party game will come out, and you'll go, "Looks a bit flat, doesn't it, compared to this other game?" So they have to embrace it, really. Otherwise, it'll. Even though they might be doing all this other technical stuff, they'll get lost. They'll be too far behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your experience, Aaron, with the ray tracing on your short time with the old PS5?
Not a lot of experience. Obviously, only getting it yesterday. But I really like it. I think it's definitely it can be made better, in the future. But that's the whole point of, that's what's going to happen with the consoles anyway. Each game, if they implement it in, it's going to get better and better. So I am looking forward to seeing what it's going to be like. So yeah, Spider-Man looks unreal as well.
Yeah,
there's a ray tracing on it. It's superb.
Yeah, it is one of those that it is a great thing once you've seen it.
Definitely, and you don't need a 4K TV to experience ray tracing, which
you
can do it on 1080 as well.
You don't,
exactly.
But Jay, you don't need.
No, you don't.
It's advised that you.
And that's
had a
coming
4K
from a PC
TV
guy. You don't need it.
Well,
it'll look better with HDR, but yeah, you don't need one. So for the people that can't afford the 4K TV and just get the console, it's good.
Yeah, and to be fair, that brings
Series
me.
S.
Yes.
Yeah.
That brings me to Platinum Rider's comment in the chat as well. He's put 4K. Most people don't have one of them TVs yet, and if they do, it's not in the kids' bedroom. So I feel that's a bit of a waste there. Yeah, but also at the same time, there are a lot of adults that have 4K TVs in the front room, as Jay well knows.
Even my monitors are 4K.
Well, yeah.
I'm more
he said,
of a resolution person, so.
Yeah, and then he said, ain't Cyberpunk going to have it on console? I think the plan is to have it on the PS5 and Xbox Series X update when that comes out. Yeah. But it's not on the first launch because that's for the PlayStation 4.
I have to say that, Cyberpunk will not support ray tracing on AMD's GPUs and the consoles at launch. So that's basic. So it's going to be coming soon. I think that's going to be the thing.
Yeah, you can obviously play it backwards compatibility kind of thing, but
so they recently released. I can't remember. Is it Live City Wire or something? They call it their little Nightwire, their little dev diaries.
Yeah.
And because they're partnered with Xbox, just for the marketing, they showed it off on the Series X and the One X to show sort of last gen, this gen, and it looked really nice. Even on the One X, an older machine, it looked really nice, but it didn't have that extra that they've shown off with the PC. The ray tracing stuff you see on the PC with all the shiny floors and mirrored cars and things like that. So that's going to land. I think the ETA of the patch is March, but seeing as the game hasn't come out yet, who knows?
Yeah, I'd like to think that they could stick with that. Haven't they got? Isn't The Witcher and that as well due out around that kind of time? The the next gen update for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't know that they've specified what those upgrades are. They might just be a frame rate bump.
I think they basically said improved visuals and of like 60 FPS. That's kind of what they. That's what they said. So I suppose, I mean, improved visuals. What does that mean anymore?
It could mean texture pack.
Well, that's it. It's like obviously today got the Rainbow Six next gen update finally got its date. It was supposed to be day one of the consoles, but it's now coming on the 1st of December. Did I say on that thing?
Next week.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what that looks like. If anyone has ever played it on the PC with their sort of ultra texture pack, then I would imagine it's going to look exactly like that, which is pretty good. So I will be diving back into Siege when that drops.
It's another good one for Xbox fans because it's on Game Pass.
Game Pass. Console. Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
You can at least give it a go if you wanted to see it.
That's it. I would imagine they would probably do one of their free weekends around that time.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
That quite a lot.
Yeah, they usually do a free weekend when just before the new operators drop.
Yes.
So that's usually a good one to get involved with. If anyone listening hasn't played Siege, then keep an eye out for a free weekend. They, like Jay just said, they happen pretty frequently. Ubisoft are pretty good with their free weekends. Usually get a couple of games in free weekends as well. So, but yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk is another one, big release coming up that's finally getting released.
Maybe.
10th. Yeah. Until it's downloading on my console, I'm not going to believe it.
Even then,
I'll
probably have to get about 10 hours in before I go, it's out.
Yeah. Although I am going to have to try and finish a game first, so I can delete something. And I don't think Astro's Playroom will give me enough space back that I need.
Probably not.
No. I mean, I'd imagine I didn't actually, because I've deleted that now, I didn't actually pay attention to how much that was.
I think it's only like 8 or 12.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Platinum Rider in there. So as for your response to the 4K TVs, how many families still have kids playing on a console in the living room? When I still did that, I was always a fight with my dad to be able to, or at the worst, get enough time to save and shut the machine off properly. I mean, I can see your point.
No, you don't need to save.
No, but yeah, I mean, 4K TV in the front room is always beneficial, even for watching TV and stuff like that. But like you say, not many. I'm sure there are more people that have 4K TVs than people realise. Because 4K isn't the out of reach technology that it once was. I mean, my TV in the front room only cost £500, and mine
was around about that as well.
But that was bought like mine. I think I bought ours maybe like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a all singing, all dancing one. It's a smart TV, but I use my all singing, all dancing monitor to play on my consoles.
I don't know what I am either.
Well, yeah.
I'm just poor.
Yeah. But I mean, ray tracing going forward is going to be very interesting because, like you say, Stu, people need to be on board with it to make it a decent technology.
Yeah. To be part of the settings that you'd see in all the graphic settings, to be part of that on every game would be nice to see, I think. But
I mean, obviously on a game that's going to benefit from having it. Like, you're not going to want ray tracing on something like FIFA
or Rocket League or something. I mean,
it'd look nice on Rocket League.
I mean, it would look fantastic on Rocket League.
But like, you don't want it unnecessary. But like,
there's no point on FIFA, like you say. No point.
Yeah.
But it's just
what a save.
God, don't. But yeah, it's just teetering on the edge of going from a gimmick to something that's usable. That's something that's going to be good for the game, I think.
Yeah, from when I've looked at ray tracing and stuff like that, when it's been implemented, I've never seen a bad example of ray tracing.
No.
When it's been implemented into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I know the launch of Battlefield 5 was...
Yeah.
But that was a launch of the burst.
But the actual ray tracing improving the visuals, take away the frames per second and
now it's brilliant now. If you play it now, it is beautiful. And it runs pretty smooth now, apparently.
I would say that it's because these are the early games. It goes back to what Aaron was saying. These are the early games. It's all going to improve.
Yeah.
But if you start to peel the covers off a little bit on Astro and Spider-Man and Gears 5 and a few others, I don't know the technology very well, but there seems to be, because I was mucking around with this, especially in Astro, where you've got the, especially there's a big shiny PS3 that you can walk up to, and your actual reflection only kicks in at a certain distance.
Yeah.
So I think it's getting the same technology they've used in that ray tracing and then making it bigger is the next step.
Yeah.
It's almost a mirror from that, like a midpoint, and not the whole room sort of thing. So there's work to be done, but yeah, it's
Miles
early
Morales
days.
is pretty good in terms of when you're looking at reflections on windows, and you see all the stuff around you. Yeah,
it does do the same, but it still looks really nice. You can go into your photo mode and move the camera around, and it looks brilliant. But you can almost, if you deep dive, you can almost start to see the cracks, and you think, well, if this is day one, give it 5 years. Once people are more used to these machines, it's going to look incredible.
Oh, that's it. I mean, GTA 6 with ray tracing and ultra textures.
I said
will
5
be...
years.
Oh, 5 years. Sorry.
GTA 6 isn't coming out.
I mean, to be fair, in 2 years, it's come quite a long way. And now, like I said, I'm hoping console, because it's going to be essentially more funding to tinker around almost, because there's going to be a lot more people doing it almost. Yeah. And people want to go, I want to do one better than this guy, and hopefully he'll push it out that way. It's there. You can almost see it, but so we'll see. It's a little bit of that too.
So Platinum Runner has said SnowRunner. He would pay for ray tracing in SnowRunner. Do you know what that would be? That would look phenomenal.
That would be really good.
SnowRunner is one of the Spin Tires games.
I don't know what Spin Tire is.
Do you know? Have you heard of Mud Runner?
Rings a bell?
I know Snowpiercer.
Yeah, I know Snowpiercer.
Effectively, what they are is they're super. I know, Platinum Heathens. I know. They're like simulation games where you have to like haul, like tree logs and things like that. But the physics and stuff are phenomenal. Like you got to drive through mud, and if you're in the wrong gear or you haven't activated your differential, it's a really good game. Mud Runner actually in 2 days' time is free on the Epic Store. So
we'll grab it then.
Well, I now know why I've never heard of it.
Why?
It's a game where you drive around delivering trees.
It's a lot more fun actually playing it.
Yeah, well, it's like farming sim. They're always way more fun to actually play. Sim.
Brilliant.
See, shut up, Jay. Apparently Dan wants Choo Choo Rocket remaster with ray tracing.
Choo Choo Rocket rules.
I like it. GTA 6 is probably like 15 years away. You watch this generation.
Yeah, back end of this generation, I think it'll land ready to be 4 or 5 consoles worth of game.
Oh God, yeah. Here's our new PlayStation 5, and the game we're gonna show off on it first
is a
game from the PS3. Oh look, we haven't even changed any of the resolution or textures. Yeah, it does just bar me. But yeah, like you say, ray tracing going forward is as long as people take it on board.
Yeah.
And excuse me, make it accessible.
And the first parties are going to definitely be pushing it because they want to look it nice on their consoles. So I'm hoping they'll filter down to the third parties because they also wanted to look on the new next gen too. They also wanted to look good looking games.
They're going to have to.
Yeah. And then maybe eventually I'll get an RTX card. When I'm rich.
Does World of Warcraft have ray tracing?
So the latest expansion came out today has RTX.
Well, you're gonna have to get one then, aren't you?
So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and save up
I might just download it just to make just to be that guy.
That's going to be it. I'm just trying to think of like how World of Warcraft is going to look like on RTX. It's going to be like those pictures you see of Minecraft, of like where there's blocks and they look ultra realistic. On your
Well, you say that, but Minecraft with ray tracing on is actually a really, really pretty game.
Like, yeah.
like really pretty. Quake 2,
realistic water, and then you cut out a cube of it.
Yeah. Quake 2 with RTX
nice.
As well. You know, Quake 2 looks fantastic with ray tracing. That was one of the first demos that they released.
Yeah, that's true. I love Quake.
Yeah. I don't know. But right, final thoughts then. One game that has been released already that you would love to see an RTX update for. Okay. So have a quick thought whilst we dive into Platinum's latest comment. He's basically put, if first party is companies owned by the console developer and third parties totally unattached to anyone, what's the second party?
Good point.
Second party is when they're exclusively licensed, though. So Bluepoint just made Demon's Souls. They're a second party to Sony because they're not owned by Sony, but they made an exclusive title. That's second party. Third party is multi-platform.
So would that class Guerrilla Games now as a third party?
No, because they're owned by Sony.
But they released on the PC.
Yeah, but they're still owned by Sony.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So anything that's owned by, regardless of what they release it on, first party, then second party, any company that has exclusivity towards a format, second party, everybody else third party.
Yeah.
And mobile gamers, fourth party.
Third world instead of third party.
Yeah. So now that you've had a couple of minutes, go on.
I was going to say, like, Kojima Productions made Death Stranding. That would be second party. Stuff like that. Moon Studios made Ori on Xbox. Microsoft owns the IP, but they don't own Moon Studios. Things like that's your second party little slither. There's just not many, frankly. There's not many.
Yeah, you generally either fall into first or third, don't you?
Yeah, and if you are a second party, you tend to get acquired. Like Playground Games, only ever made like Forza Horizon and things like that, and then they got purchased. So it's kind of like Insomniac as well. They
went from second to first.
Yeah, basically. So that's the principle there. Anyway.
Okay, so Aaron, as the new guy, you can be first up. One game that you really want ray tracing to be added to.
I really don't know. No, you know.
Should we circle back to you?
Yeah, come back to me, please.
Okay. Stu?
So, I'm going to ask a couple of queries. Say if I choose a game, would it be if it's going to be remastered with RTX, or as is, but with RTX on?
Either, doesn't matter.
Cool. I'm going to go with Knights of the Old Republic.
Ooh,
that is a good shout.
I don't think you'd get 60 frames per second with that one.
No, not at all. But it would look quite interesting, I think.
Yeah, I think especially in like the cutscenes and stuff like that. Like the Mass Effect. Are they remastering or remaking the Mass Effect games?
I want to say they're remastering, I want to say.
They've been, unfortunately, very vague as to what they're doing with that trilogy.
Yeah,
which is upsetting to me, as it's one of my favourite games.
But that, I would imagine, coming to the next generation consoles would have ray tracing as an option.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting design choices in the Mass Effect games that were a symptom of the technology. They're very famous for these little lift sequences that are blatantly secretly loading screens and things like that. So there are certain things in that game where, you know, because they've got shiny armor, so they could enable ray tracing. They've got all these hidden loading screens, which means you almost have to change how dialogue is happening in the game. So or they'll just reskin it and release it as is.
Yeah.
So
I expect it's the second option, I feel like.
it's a tricky one, yeah. They've been intentionally a little bit vague, I think.
Yeah.
I like vagueness, though, because it makes people like us talk about things and come up with ideas, and then when one of us is right, we go, see, I told you it was going to be like that.
I knew it.
Yeah, I knew it. I told you all along that it was going to be that. So there. Jay, go on. So, what's your game of choice?
Whenever I think of like RTX ray tracing is state-of-the-art graphical stuff, isn't it? And whenever I think of state-of-the-art graphical stuff in games, I think of racing games. And one of the best-looking racing games that's about is Forza Horizon 4. And it did get optimized. You know, it's on PC, it already looked stunning. Even on Xbox One, it already looked stunning. But now it's 4K 60. I think you can ramp it up to 120 FPS and all this business. But they didn't include ray tracing. And it's a game absolutely full of big shiny things moving around a very vibrant map with rain and stuff like that, and cities at night and all this sort of business. So I'd imagine, I mean, if I could add it to that, it would look phenomenal. I'd imagine it will be in there anyway, you know, Forza Horizon 5, but yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't put it in it, to be honest. And I wonder when they were redoing it, maybe they didn't have access to the next AMD cards, perhaps?
Yeah, I can only imagine it becomes diminishing returns, doesn't it? Because it's an older game, and they've done a patch for free.
Yeah.
And the engine it's running off was designed with pre-baked lighting and all this sort of stuff. Yeah. So, you know, big open world game, it's probably a lot more effort than just, oh, we'll replace this light with this light. They probably have to redesign quite a lot. But I think it will be, I'd imagine, in the 5th one, whenever that comes out, because they're working on Fable at the moment. But if I could add that to Horizon 4, getting a, you know, big shiny car, smash through a river and get a nice photo and stuff, I bet that would look ridiculous.
That's it. And the good thing about ray tracing, if I understand the way that it works, is it's all based on calculations, so they don't have to do it per vehicle. And obviously there are a lot of vehicles. They do it per material. So obviously you have, say you take a car, you've got obviously the normal paint, then you've got the special paints like the glitter effect paints and things like that. But they would diffuse the light anyway, because of the way light works. They would enter the sparkle and be diffused out anyway. It's just a reflection as opposed to a refraction.
Plus the color. So if you were, you know, if you're wearing a red t-shirt in a white room, you can see the red reflected on the wall, so you'd have that element coming off. But again, it's calculation based.
So it's not actually, I mean, I'm not a game developer in the slightest, obviously, by a million miles. But I can't imagine it's a massive time sink to add something like it. Obviously, you've got to get the calculations right, and you've got to get all your material assets in there and everything like that. But once you've got it done, you kind of just go bloop.
Yeah, I think it's,
and it happens.
Yeah, I think it's the fact you have to do it up front. That's the issue. I think adding it to something you've already done means you have to redesign what you've already done. Whereas switching it on from the beginning, you've kind of designed everything around the fact this is how light works, I suppose. If you look at the Spider-Man remaster compared to the PS4 version, it looks better, but in some scenes it looks really washed out. And it's simply because they've changed the lighting engine. You know, it's a different engine that is controlling the light for you, whereas an artist controlled the light, you know, before. So
that's it. Let's have a look. Platinum Rider has said, imagine what the new Gran Turismo will be able to do. That will be very, very interesting.
Forza will be able to do. It's on a more powerful machine and PCs. It'll be...
but, you know, it's not Gran Turismo.
No, it's better.
It's not.
It's open world.
It's not. It's not open world.
The good
You're lying.
ones. I don't care about motorsport.
Yeah, I downloaded that again the other day on my PC. It was like 120 gig. I played it. I played like one race around the Top Gear test track, and then just deleted it again.
Oh, is that
So
Motorsport 7?
yeah, Motorsport 7. So Aaron, we're coming back to you now. Come on.
Yeah, I have decided. I'm going to go for the Elder Scrolls Online.
That's actually a good
do
shout.
a lot.
Okay.
with ray tracing on that.
That needs a lot of work in general.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like in general, I've sunk many hours into ESO. That would be interesting, but an MMO though with ray tracing. Well, World of Warcraft just did it, I suppose.
Well, yeah.
That'd be interesting. That would be interesting.
I like it. My one, Rocket League.
After we just
Spike Stew.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love Rocket League. I am a humongous fan, and I think that having ray tracing on some of the arenas, especially the underwater arena,
that would look actually really
that would just look phenomenal.
What's the one? It's
The
like
walls are all
Japanese
glass
when it's
as well.
raining.
Yeah. The Tokyo arena.
Tokyo, yeah. That would look really nice.
And imagine if on the PS4 you had haptic feedback as well, so you could feel the rain.
PS5.
PS5.
You wouldn't be able to feel the rain though, would you? Because you're in a
Don't
dome.
want no rumble
No, but
when
you
play
do, because the rain
Does it
hits
come
the
into
ground.
arena?
Yeah.
Ah, right. I haven't played that one then.
Yeah,
Or I've not played
yeah.
it in a while.
Yeah. I have to admit, that was probably one of my favourite parts of Astro's Playroom, was the rain sections. That to me showed me what haptics could have the potential to do.
Yeah. So I'm not immediately sold on haptic. I wasn't on the Switch either. But that particular section in Astro where it's the gradual build-up of rain that turns into hail as you progress, that feels amazing.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it feels like what you are
like
seeing
raining
on screen is in your hand. It does feel brilliant.
Yeah, but all the other stuff on it is kind of a bit. It's all right.
Yeah, I think I was overpromised.
I think the problem
not by Sony.
By Jeff Keighley or whatever his name is.
Yeah, by the press people. Who were like, "Oh, you can feel the wind." No, it just rumbles in a different place.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a conversation for another time. We're slightly moving away from old tray racing here. You can tell because Stu's like glazed over.
It's like turn all our rumble off.
I can't wait to go outside and cut down a tree
and not hit myself.
Yeah, not get infected. But ray tracing good, but the future is unsure.
Yeah,
I feel like we should get like a magic 8-ball to shake at these points to see what the magic 8-ball.
Yeah. See what the decision's going to be.
Ask again later.
Yeah. Online.
That sounds about right, though.
Magic
Ask again later.
8-ball. There you are. Ask8ball.net. Is ray tracing the future? Are we ready for this?
Go on.
Let's see what it says.
Most likely.
Oh,
there we go.
Also,
That's promising.
Yeah, it's
And
promising.
that's
Magic
from,
8-ball tells us.
That's from CEO 8-Ball himself.
Yeah. I can
CEO
tweet.
gaming.
I can tweet this prediction. I might do that. Is ray tracing the future? Most likely. There we go. It's just tweeted to the Thumb Culture Twitter.
Excellent. That sounds good.
And apparently, news just in: the RTX 3080 has won an award for best gaming hardware.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how it can win it because I think about 4 people in the world have got them.
I was going to say, who's got it? Just the one reviewer that reviewed it? Or...
Yeah. Team 17 have been inducted into the Hall of Fame as well.
They're down the road from me.
Yep. Death Stranding has claimed victory, winning PC Game of the Year.
Wow, what?
Yeah.
Hermes the game.
Who are these awards for?
Hermes the game. The Golden Joysticks.
Right.
PlayStation Game of the Year, Last of Us Part 2. I'm just going through some of these awards quickly whilst we can cover them off. Winner of Breakthrough Award, Among Us.
That's 2 years old. That was out.
Yeah, that's
Right. Okay. Right.
broke through.
Without looking online, winner of the best family game. Predictions.
Family game.
I know that Crash Bandicoot.
It's either Animal Crossing or Fall Guys, I'd imagine.
Fall Guys. How is that a family game? I'm not sure of how that can be classed as a family game.
I guess it's because it's...
All the beans are all siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. The best new streamer broadcaster goes to a guy who has got 36.4 thousand followers on Twitter and is a Twitch partner. How is that a new streamer?
Mm.
For a while, I reckon. Unless he's bought them all overnight.
Well, yeah. Esports Game of the Year, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Studio of the Year, Naughty Dog. Winner of the Still Playing Award, Minecraft. Best Audio, Last of Us Part 2. No Man's Sky, Best Game Expansion for Origins. So there are quite a few. Best multiplayer game, Fall Guys.
I only played it for like an hour, I think.
I think I played it for an hour or two and that was it.
Yes. I don't know. Got a bit... On my own, it got a bit... Wore a bit thin quite quick on my own. Maybe if it was a couple of you playing it, might be alright.
Mm. Well said, Stu on the left. I don't know what I said now. I don't know what I said.
I don't know.
I say so much. I say so much. But anyway, on those quick award updates from the Golden Joysticks, let us know your thoughts on Twitter if you agree with the Golden Awards joysticks about that streamer. Well, it's true, isn't it? How can you be a breakthrough and new streamer if you're a Twitch partner and have got 36,000 Twitter followers?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It just to me, that's just like, okay, whatever.
It's the video game awards have best debut game category, and Carrion is in it, a game I really liked, but it is not their debut game.
No,
that's a couple of years old, isn't it? No.
Well, no,
it's not like its debut for the studio.
Yeah.
So Fall Guys could be classed as their debut game.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah. Oh well. Golden Joysticks, yay!
I pay no attention to them.
Yeah. But now we have gone well over our allocated time.
Longest one, I think.
It will be for quite a while. But no, thank you very much for joining us tonight. For the people in the chat, thank you very much for listening to us rabble on for the last hour and 10 minutes or so. I just felt like you needed to know those news updates for the awards that have been handed out so far. There's obviously more, so go and check them out on the Golden Joysticks Twitter. But first, drop by the Thumb Culture Twitter and say hi, because we like to have people sending us tweets. Send us your favourite GIF as well. You know, tweet us your favourite GIF, that kind of stuff. We like to have a chuckle about it in the Thumb Culture HQ.
Tweet us your Magic 8-Ball questions.
Yes, yeah, please do. Please tweet us your best 8-Ball questions. And we will see you, hopefully, again next week for another fun-packed podcast that we will decide the subject on Tuesday morning.
Maybe you'll go into the afternoon, then we might choose it.
It might do. It might do. I mean, in fairness, we have got a potential for next week, but we'll see. We'll see. But no, thank you very much for joining. Aaron, how's it been? Has it been emotional for you?
It has. It's been emotional. Thank you very much for having me.
Good. Well, you know, hopefully you'll hear Aaron more in the future, and he might be able to remove the ray tracing image at some point.
Yes.
But we'll see. We'll vet that for you first. Don't panic. But no, anyway, all that's left to say is don't forget to check us out on Twitter, check us out on all our social medias, check out the website as well. It's looking fantastic. www.thumbculture.co.uk, and we will see you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.